from Kane Aston, who got a very good jump off the line and through the left-hand rugby towards Snetterton. Still just leading the way. That's got the lead on Jack, yes.
I've got to say, the second row of the green, it went really well for Kane Aston, obviously forced straight into the lead of the race before the end of the first lap. Rupert Deeth, unfortunately, he's dropped down a number of places. What is he, what, a fifth, maybe even sixth now? So back towards us comes the pack. It is Kane Aston in the lead of the race, still being chased down by Jeff Smith. Giving chase is the number 55 machine, that was Ben Colburn. Obviously, he started second, he's only dropped one place, and looking at it, yeah, Rupert Deeth, he's down into fifth place. He's not had the best start so far. What of the other classes? Leading Mini Libre, that is Steve Baker ahead of Richard Colburn. They've managed to already pick their way through and past one of the Mini Miglias of Joanne Kent. One of the cars with a massive overrun on the way in towards Ritchie, so hopefully all is well there. One of the 7S's, it's Fraser Hack still leading that class, only by what, a couple of tenths of a second.
Yeah, from Matthew Ayres and pole position man Michael Winkworth getting jumped back to third place there, with Andrew Hack up into fourth. So Fraser Hack getting the jump and into the lead of the 7S class. Leaders turning through Agostini. It is Kane Aston then, with Ben Coburn challenging Jeff Smith for second place. Then Rupert Deeth in third ahead of Ian Curley, and King Curley is actually back in fifth place.
Yeah, I think Rupert Deeth has managed to pick his way through and pass back into fourth, as you say. Kane Aston, he's starting to pull away because Jeff Smith has got Ben Colburn all over his tail, really trying to fight back and get his way onto second place at the moment, but he's getting closer and closer and closer. But as we saw in the Mini 7s, the aerodynamic assistance can be very, very useful indeed.
Yeah, the Mini designed long before aerodynamics was thought of, and so there's an awful lot of slipstream to be gained from these cars, and providing all something to that slipstream, there's a lot of benefit to be gained from that straight. But Kane Aston, for my money, managed to, well, he was managed to break that slipstream, but he hasn't now, because Jeff Smith is now right into the slipstream again of Kane Aston. He's taken with him Ben Coburn, and he's threatening to allow Rupert Deeth and Ian Curley to get on first as well. So through the Murrays they come up to the start-finish line to complete two laps. It's Kane Aston leading the way. In second place, Jeff Smith, Ben Coburn fourth, Rupert Deeth up to Ben Coburn third, Rupert Deeth up to fourth place, Ian Curley fifth, Colin Peacock in sixth place, Martin Wager improves to seventh, Phil Bullen-Brown is eighth, Alex Osborne ninth, and Aaron Smith, who started on the third row, is back to 10th place. So what his problem has been, I don't know. Steve Baker is going great guns in the Libre and is up to 19th place overall, leading the Libre class. And in the 7S's, Michael Winkworth has now got himself back into the lead of the 7S's ahead of Fraser Hack, Matthew Ayres and Andrew Hack. So Michael Winkworth gaining 2 positions on that lap and taking back the lead of the 7S class, but he's only a tenth, in fact 7/10 of a second ahead, and then Matthew Ayres is only a tenth of a second behind Fraser Hack, so very close indeed, less than a second separating the top 3 7S class cars.
Yeah, Kane Aston, he's managed to pull away just a little bit again from Jeff Smith. I don't know whether it's almost like a sectoral sort of pace advantage. Through Sector 1, Kane Aston's quicker than Jeff Smith. Into Sector 2, they seem fairly even, and then when they disappeared out of our sight heading up towards Brundle and Nelson and then reappeared, Kane Aston's lead has completely evaporated. So maybe Jeff Smith has just got that extra little bit on the run through Sector 3. However, I think it's all changed around at the front. That could potentially be Ben Colburn has just worked his way up into third place. So we have a look on the cameras, we wait for them to reappear on the exit of Nelson. This is still Kane Aston leading the way by the looks of that. Who is it in second place? It is Ben Colburn, and then Jeff Smith sat there in third place, and by the looks of it, Rupert Dean is fending off all kinds of attacks, just trying to hold on to more.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to explain why Kane Aston has been able to open up a bit of a gap with back going on behind him. But when you talk about sectors, just to clarify, TSL are not providing us with sector times. These are kind of maximum sectors that Jack has no doubt found out on his sim somewhere. But TSL currently, the whole track is one sector. So we don't actually get different times up on our screens here. The Kane Aston, whichever way you manage it, is leading the way, and he has 0.756 of an advance, 7 seconds of an advantage from Ben Coburn, who's up into second place ahead of Jeff Smith. Rupert Dean still fourth, Ian Curley fifth, and Colin Peacock rounding out the top 6 as they come back down from Wilson's into the left-hander at Palmer's. Martin Wager is next up just behind Colin Peacock, and Ian Curley getting left behind a little bit at the moment as they head into Agostini, as looks like Martin Wager makes a move up on the inside of Colin Peacock as they turn into Agostini. So meanwhile at the front, Kane Aston has his hands absolutely full now of Richard Coburn in second place, and Jeff Smith, pole sitter, in third, going with him. Down the straights is where the slipstream effect is at its greatest, but Richard Coburn at the moment charging along and giving Kane Aston as close a run for his money as he's had all race, heading down the Bentley Straight for the fourth time this time, with how much? A little over 7 minutes of the race elapsed.
Ben Colburn's gone for the lead. He was towing, and then I think that was just about enough for him to nip around the outside on the run up towards Brundle and Nelson. So we wait for them to reappear. They appear absolutely together. And from a quick look, it is Ben Colburn in the lead of the race, still ahead of Kane Aston. So if they disappeared, they remain as they are. But let's see what Kane Aston can do without fighting back, because he's now got Jeff Smith into the lead of the race. It could potentially be Jeff Smith that's managed to retake the lead of the race. Yes, it is Kane Aston now sat there in second place. Then it's Ben Colburn, and coming in on the mix is Rupert Dean for the lead ball.
Yeah, 4 absolutely taking the lead. And then fifth place, I think it's Martin Wager who's managed to get himself ahead of the best of the rest, and Ian Curley has dropped back a couple of places, crossing the line. 4 laps now completed. Best lap of the race for Jeff Smith, 2 minutes 12.827. He leads Kane Aston from Ben Colburn, Rupert Dean, Martin Wager indeed up into 5th place. Phil Bullen Brown up into 6th, and back to 7th goes Ian Curley. He's getting too old for this. Colin Peacock in 8th place, Aaron Smith 9th, and Nick Paddy round out the top 10 as they head up towards, in fact, out of Wilson. Still 3 for the lead there, with Rupert Dees not so far adrift, but Jeff Smith, having started off pole position, then been elbowed back, but now back to the front, with Kane Aston and Ben Coburn running second and third, and Coburn looking up on the inside of Kane Aston as they go onto the brakes for Agostini. Out of Agostini, Kane Aston holds on to second, and still Coburn there in third. Then a gap back to, as a further change, because he's that up into 4th place. Could be Phil Bullen Brown. See if we can pick that one out as they go into Oggies. It is, yes, Phil Bullen Brown then up into 4th place and taking Rupert Dees with him, and then Ian Curley is the next one up. So a little bit of a problem and a change there as they went through the infield section and headed back down the Bentley Straight towards Brundle and Nelson, the 3 cars leading the way, absolutely together. We're over half distance through the race. We're on lap 5 of what should be a 10-lap race, and it's Kane Aston back into the lead of the race, Ben Coburn second, and Jeff Smith suddenly elbowed back to the lead, having put himself into the lead, set the front of that, now being pushed back to third.
Typical mini racing, isn't it, really? As soon as you get somewhere, it all comes unravelled once again. So, what of the whereabouts of Rupert Dean? Did you spot him go off anywhere? Because he's no longer in that triad. but I can't see him anywhere else out on circuit. So Rupert Death, the mystery yet unsolved. Jeff Smith down into third. It is over the line. Kane Aston still leading the way from Ben Colburn, and heading over the line still is no Rupert Death. So whereabouts he has come to rest, I don't know. Looking around the circuit by eye, I can't see any yellow flags as of yet. We look up at the cameras and still no yellow flags that I can spot quickly at all. So what has happened to Rupert Death, we don't know. The leaders already working their way back into Palmer's. The top three remain as they are. It's still Kane Aston from Ben Colburn. Jeff Smith still fighting away, and now we've got Ben Colburn immediately on the attack on the run out of Palmer's. They head along the straight before they're hard on the brakes in towards Agostini. Is Ben Colburn on the inside, Kane Aston on the outside as they jump on the brakes. Last of the late breakers is Ben Colburn into the lead of the race. So Kane Aston back into second. Jeff Smith, he must be getting bored of watching this in third. He was previously in the lead, and now he runs back part of it.
Yeah, and those three having opened up a sizable advantage back to Martin Wager, who's fourth, Phil Bullock Brown